So firstly, I will present a little bit the organization, the Center for Cultural Dialogue, what we do, but I think that from the title is obvious that dialogue is in our focus. And then I will talk about two of our programs that we are leading at the moment. And one will also explain the cooperation that we had with Institute for Development and International Relations from Croatia. And this forum theater that we created inside one of our programs. That was something that also Nikica mentioned already in the panel 1 of this conference. So, as you said, my name is Nejra Kadic Mes kic, and I'm leading one NGO that's named Center for Cultural Dialogue. We are based in Zagreb, that's capital of Croatia. Center for Cultural Dialogue is a non-profit and non-governmental organization that strengthens and promotes interreligious and intercultural dialogue in Croatia, but also wider. The mission of the center is to build and strengthen the capacities of cultural, educational, academic, research, social, and other processes in culture of dialogue, and to put sound policies in place for social cohesion, acceptance, and coexistence. Vision of the Center for Cultural Dialogue is a dialogue open society in which followers of different religions, cultures, nations, genders, and all other dimensions of identity are integrated in all society processes, and they participate in decision-making processes in public life. Center for Cultural Dialogue is contributing to acceptance, tolerance, and peace by promoting intercultural society. On this map, you can see the borders of the Republic of Croatia, and you can see in these white dots the places where we actually have our offices. So we work in all parts in Croatia. Because of these 16 places, we can cover the whole territory of Croatia. Actually, at the time of increased radicalism, where hate speech is on the rise, and in a society where we can see indicators of extremism in a modern world and modern Europe, work and efforts in using dialogue to revise the tie, to heal, to support human rights, and are more important than ever before. Therefore, Center for Cultural Dialogue contributes to inclusion and integration of migrants into Croatian society. Center implements different programs, such as educational, humanitarian, intellectual, and other integration programs on one side, and builds and strengthens domestic society to be welcoming for the refugees and migrants on the other side. Also, we are the member of one network named Network for Dialogue that's working on social inclusion of people that are migrants or refugees, or people on the move, as I like to call them like that, in Europe. And all of our programs are actually dedicated to promoting and strengthening the culture of dialogue. And the people in Center for Cultural Dialogue, I like to say that we are a community inside an organization. First program that I want to mention during this presentation is our program Youth School of Leadership and Dialogue. So Center empowers youth to become leaders of community, social well-being through different leadership and active citizens educational programs. Center builds youth volunteering networks and involve youth in decision-making processes in their local communities. Every year we are implementing one program, and that is this one, Youth School of Leadership and Dialogue. At the moment we are implementing this year's program also, and it will end by the end of June. After the program, we will have 40 youth leaders who are active citizens in building more inclusive, empathetic, and resilient societies, and they will fight growing mistrust and polarization. Youth volunteers from latest year's program share their experiences about lessons learned through forum theater that we also communicate about through VOLPOWER project. Forum theater is a form of theater that encourages audience interaction and explores their different opinions for dealing with some specific problem or some specific issue. Theater is often used by socially excluded and disempowered groups. We used our form theater to break the stereotypes and prejudice about one specific religious minority group in Croatian society. These were Muslims. And we implement the forum theater in cooperation with Institute for Development and International Relations. That was something that Nikita already told you about in panel 1, what we did and what changes in youth that were volunteering we succeed to reach, but also the changes that we saw that were happening with youth that have international protection, status of international protection in the Republic of Croatia. We are really thankful for this great cooperation. Also, so this is the picture of youth that were part of this program. So they were all doing this on a voluntary basis. So you can also see that we have the mix of female and males. That was also one of the goals in this project, to have them both included. This is one scene from the Forum Theater. So this is here is also the public who was actively involved in development of scenes during the show. This is after the theater, and these are our volunteers actually speaking with public about what they showed during the theater. In this occasion, it's really important for me to mention that Center for Cultural Dialogue leads one really big project, and it's titled New Neighbors. It's focused on inclusion of people who have been granted with international protection into the Croatian society. This is a project where we have a lot of volunteers engaged. And they are engaged in all challenges that we have in process of implementing this project. First one is strengthening social inclusion in education. So the difficulty of many refugees in learning new language and understanding a new culture. And we find that learning new language and understanding new culture is like basic thing for successful integration into new society. And here the role of volunteers and activists is really huge. And without them, I'm sure that we couldn't succeed in reaching successful integration. Also, challenge one that we face in this project and where volunteers are very included is building trust in local communities through dialogue. So one very important dimension in integration or learning how to live together between local citizens and new neighbors. That's how we call our people on the move. Is that through dialogue, they feel this safe space where they can share their thoughts, their opinions, and ask about everything that's unclear for them from Croatian culture or practice, etc. Here you can see one picture. That's one gathering from Sisak. Sisak is a city, neighboring city to Zagreb. And here we have one dinner. It was during Eid, so it's actually a celebration of joint celebration of a religious holiday. Here also challenge 3 that I wanted to point it out during this presentation is reshaping the narratives on migration. We have negative perceptions about refugees. And especially these narratives are something that is forced in media. And through our work, we are really trying to reshape these narratives. And we are always trying to share good examples of integration and volunteers and activists in media, so journalists and other people working in media really help us a lot in this. On picture you can see two refugees that came to CSAC, and we are celebrating their arrival there in their new community. Also, one big challenge in working with people on the move is integration of migrant women. On the picture, you can see two participants of this program that Center for Culture Dialogue implements. Usually, there are more barriers to migrant women than men. They are migrants and they are women. They are often overqualified for the jobs they hold or tend to hold part-time employment, among other issues. Our volunteers and activists are really involved in this part also because they help them to find proper jobs, and they also strengthen their skills to be better during these job interviews and in this process of getting new jobs. One challenge that cannot be not mentioned is the one from the last year, that's COVID-19 and pandemic. That was challenging for all of us, but especially for people on the move. And I can say in time where all of us, where a lot of people were afraid to start working with refugees and migrants because of the COVID, there were volunteers and activists in Center for Cultural Dialogue who really did that with a great pleasure. Okay, I would now want to show you one campaign that we made. It's named Dinner with New Neighbors, and that's a campaign that we completely implemented with support of this project, but also on a volunteering basis of graphic designer and video developer who actually made this video. So his engagement in making this video is on a voluntary basis. I will show it now. It's the only one. We have 5 of them, but this is the only one, and it's short version of it, and it's the only one that we so far titled on English.
Yasam safiatu danas tu kuhati yelo izo moye zemye obale yelo kosi provo tu kuhati yuhu od kikirikia trebami kikiriki luk rajisa piletina I zastini
Nedire yamogolu adomina Mokana perese adomina Adomina Mangoro di fere kasoro gadi Neteri ni kanu adomina Nedire yamogolu adomina Mokana koroto
Drugo yelo ye Rija za Bamio.
Ala di faga ni moke ni ala ila masa
Zaso, mitreba, ananas, jumvir I carvamo.
Jama maragama ala di faga figoke ay dara ma jamuni jarane ma alayte adomine kale masa alala kolu majeli gazikiri lame kulu baby ne solo mana lame barisa konete mana tambo
Zaksalatu, mitreba, mango, chipa, ananas I kiwi.
mimi seni dise ope kumai antanga mega taseba bido champi kilo ya fanema
Say like this.
Fala, Hazima.
Zima, winter. Zima.
Fala,
Bam.
Fala, vam.
Zima.
Svima.
Što ste došli
Došli na kući. Moje kuću. Ok, gotovo, to je to.
Gotovo, to je to.
So I wanted to share with you only this insight of what we do and how we do. In our work, we are really forcing this sport activities, also as art and culture activities, as a way to gather locals and our new neighbors. And the role of volunteers is really worthy, and it's something that's irreplaceable. By this occasion, I also wanted to thank to Senada and Nikica for all the support that they gave us through this project VOLPOWER in implementing such great activities with volunteers and our new neighbors. So that's that for me for the moment. If there is questions, I'm open.